Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Zwift Community Live Ride with GCN. Riders have getting out on course already. We're going to have a lot of fun today with each one of these rides. Each of the riders are going to be doing a different course today. And so right now we do have Cy Richardson, Matt Stevens, and Tom Last on their way out to the courses. We're going to take a quick little peek in what's happening with Cy here real quick as he's heading out with his ride. It's going to be a little bit harder ride. Cy, do you know, I'm going to go ahead and get you on screen here. And it looks like you guys are holding a solid 3.7 now, heading into a 5.5 watts per kilogram or so, Cy. So welcome to the broadcast. And what's going on out there today with your ride?
Hey, thanks. Yeah, well, so things are good. We've had a brisk start. You can probably hear I'm a little bit out of breath because you joined me just as we start a pretty tough little climb. But it's good. We've got a nice tight group. Everyone's riding well together. It's fantastic to see such a big bunch. It's awesome.
Yeah, look, you guys are looking good. Looks like you got at least 150, maybe 200 riders in this group ride. And with this group ride, as far as the group ride function goes on Zwift, so the watts per kilogram for this specific ride, it's kind of an A group ride. What are you guys supposed to be holding today? I think it's somewhere like 3.5 or is it 4.0 plus?
So 3 to 4. So we probably need to knock it back a touch. But yeah, well, it really stings, doesn't it? Yeah, goes up in stages, bud.
And what kind of a trainer are you on right now? Because I think you are definitely feeling that 10% gradient right now, kicking into 157 beats per minute or so. So it's stinging a little bit, starting to head on up the course here.
Yeah, no. So I'm very lucky. I'm on an elite driver actually, and so if I remember correctly, accurate to about 1%. In terms of its power meter, so it's nice to be pretty confident with equipment like that, can't you?
Awesome. All right, so now we do also have with us, it looks like Tom Last. I think he's hanging out with, it looks like the C group, I believe, out there today. So we're going to go ahead and join him real quick. I believe it's the C group that he's jumping into. And Tom, it looks like you're going through the underwater tunnel right now. How's the ride going so far?
Hey, Nathan. Yeah, it's going really good, thanks. We're just cruising along between 2 and 2.4 watts per kilo. Very chilled out, very nice so far.
And let's go ahead and take a look at the actual route. I can actually show this to you, Tom, the actual full route. I believe you're on the Watopia Flat, just straight Watopia Flat, or are you guys doing the flat volcano? I believe it's the Watopia Flat.
I think we might be doing the volcano. I may be mistaken.
Gotcha. So these guys... Yeah, great. Awesome. So as far as here's the 3 different courses that they will be doing today. We do have a great velo viewer actually of the course that Tom is doing today. So if he is on the Watopia Flat Volcano, this is the velo viewer that's been powered by Strava there. As you can see, they're heading through the underground tunnel. Going to be a straight up, I believe it's right around 8-mile loop, steady effort. They're going to be doing a few laps out there on that course. So good to see them hammering away with Tom there. With the Watopia Mountain that we did see Cy starting to head up, you can see the difference here between these two rides. Pretty intense difference. You did see right from the get-go there that little pitch that they were heading onto the bridge there, but it gets super intense up toward the top. As you can see there, those red numbers. I think we're looking at like 16, 17% gradients for a little while there. So Cy and the rest of the group are going to have their work cut out for them today. We are also joined by Matt Stevens, and he's kind of on the medium pace group, I think.
Kind of difficult run, more of a kind of social ride, but maybe the last 2Ks I might allow people to light it up a little bit if they're good and stick together. I'm just looking forward to it. It's just great to see so many people in GCN kit out on the road. I think about 238 people in my group, which is absolutely fantastic. It should be a good run. Looking forward to it.
Absolutely awesome. I think you had like 250 plus riders actually in your group. Actually, it looks like an absolutely huge group that you're riding along with, about to hit that Italian village. And it actually looks like you are going to be doing, it looks like the things that you were showcasing with you is the chit chat about out on course. And Tom is doing the volcano route today. It looks like, so you're going to be doing the flat, and I think you're hammering along at, I believe it's going to be somewhere around that at 3.0 watts per kilogram. You're holding a steady 2.6 or so, 125 heart rate. So it looks like a nice little chat ride there that you guys are doing. And then it looks like we do have social media integration today, guys, just so you know. So if you would like to interact with the broadcast today, make sure to go ahead and at Z Community Live on Twitter. If you add Z Community Live on Twitter right now, we can actually bring those questions right on into the broadcast today. And if you would like to interact directly with the GCN boys here, we'll go ahead and read those off to them, and they'll be able to, answer any of the questions you guys might have at Z Community Live over on Twitter, and we'll go ahead and integrate those right in for you boys and girls today. It looks like over here with Cy right now, he is trying to hold everything together at this point. How's it working out over there, Cy, with the group ride? A little bit more of a race now today, I think. Maybe not a race for you guys, but a little bit of a harder effort. 156, definitely a bit higher than that 125. As far as, there's definitely an echelon there going on. Not a whole lot of draft that's going to be able to experience up that mountain climb.
No, I can see the front, and it's very tempting to try and catch those guys, but I'm trying to be good and hold the watch per kilo, and then regroup so everyone can catch back up as we freewheel down the other side.
Definitely. It does look like Adrian Timmis is one of the ones a little bit off the front there from Cadence Sports, actually. It's Tour de France rider. Just a little ways up from you, Cy, actually. Maybe need to whip those boys into shape and let them know how they're supposed to be riding today. But that's it looks like it is starting to pick up the tempo for sure, as it's kind of becoming a little bit of a race to the top today.
Yeah, well, I know Adrian pretty well, actually. We worked together a few years ago when I was racing, and he was part of the support crew. So, it's good. And we raced together many times as well. So, like I said, I quite want to try and catch the front, but we'll give it a go.
If you can think of any great stories, I actually commentate on Timmis almost like every week, actually a couple times a week. And it's been a lot of fun seeing him race with the boys out on Zwift. But in this group ride today, it'd be really cool, the Cycling Made Social part of it, to hear any kind of backstories that you might have there. That'd be actually really cool if you can think of anything on the fly. It does look like we might have something coming in from the social media here. And we do have, it looks like, Liam Bard just saying, good evening. Hope you're on a recovery ride whilst on board with the Zwift media bus. So Liam Bard giving you guys a little bit of encouragement out there today. We are seeing, it looks like this is the overview. This is the setup that all the boys are on. So you can actually see their current setup, all in their nice GCN kits. We do got the Elite Drevos there. It does look like there's a Cyclops hammer that Tom.
It's like Batman's bike.
It's like Batman's bike. Nice. Absolutely awesome. Great. And now we do see, it looks like Steven's starting to head on through the Essies there. It might be picking up a little bit for these guys out on this Chit Chat group ride. 3.7 watts, 3.4 watts per kilogram, but still a steady 125 beats per minute or so on the flat Watopia course. Have you had, Matt, a chance to ride the flat Watopia course a whole lot?
Yeah, I've been riding on Zwift now for well over a year. I think I was one of the privileged enough to be one of the early adopters, so I've kind of pretty much ridden on all the different permutations, and I'm a fan of it, I think, now. So, yeah, know every inch of it, and I've suffered a fair bit on it too.
Nice. Awesome. Great. And so now we are seeing, it looks like Tom starting to head on over toward the Italian Village. We will get highlights of the new volcano route on the volcano flat here in just a moment. They are heading through that nice water fountain section here, as you can see. Tom, you're looking pretty good here. The group all sticking together, more of a chill pace ride. What, a little bit of a dust in the face there though. Going to be difficult to hold on the wheel, or going okay there?
Yeah, I'm choking on all dust back here. It's good. It's a steady pace, but everyone seems to be sticking to it. Good ride so far.
Great. Awesome. So again, guys, if you would like to shoot on through any of your questions for the GCN presenters, make sure to tweet on out at Z Community Live, and we will definitely be able to grab those for you. We recently did have the volcano open up. Tom, have you had a chance to ride out on the volcano course and have any thoughts on it?
This is actually going to be my first time through the volcano, Nathan. We did commentate on Simon riding through the volcano and suffering on the race the other week.
So I'm looking forward to doing it myself, although not suffering as much as he did this time.
Yeah, right on. And so, quick question though, like, so as far as, you know, you're showcasing what's going on here, like, what is, as far as your in real life or fantasy types courses, which ones do you prefer and what's your favorite out on Zwift and maybe in real life? And do you have any comparisons between the two?
Yeah, I think, sorry, Matt, you go, Matt, you go.
Give me 1 second here, Matt. I'll go ahead and bring you up. Go ahead, Matt. Yeah, Matt, I got you now.
I like the classic Utopia loop. You've got a little bit of everything. It's got some long drags, got a couple of steep climbs, and it's a really good kind of length course to really measure your kind of fitness. So I don't want to race anymore. I kind of worked pretty hard over the last year keeping my fitness high, and I must admit, I'm pretty focused in terms of keeping fit, and it's because you've got so many different metrics on there, and of course you've got a record of all your different performances, and obviously using the same system, so it gives you a real indication of your level of fitness through that. And I'm not, even when I go on a steady ride on Zwift, I generally end up going a bit higher. So maybe you guys need to design a cafe or something just to chill out on the course. Maybe not to take a volcano, but just saying out there to you guys. But yeah, it's a fantastic big kit. And I do inhabit it a couple of times a week, and it's kind of fantastic.
Yeah, the classic course is absolutely great. I actually like to jump in that a whole lot, specifically for my recovery rides. I like to use a lot, but it's also a very tactical course then too if you are out there for a race. But it's definitely a group ride type course for sure as far as the classic course, I would say. Sai, same question over to you. In real life fantasy courses, what's your favorite, Sai, as far as it goes for in real life courses, and how do they relate maybe a little bit to Zwift? And then what's your favorite Zwift course?
Well, you know what? The last thing I did on Zwift was a race, a KISS race in London a couple of weeks back. And that was really interesting because I'd raced like the Tour of Britain on many occasions, and the circuit was pretty similar. And so it was really, really cool comparing the two, you know? And I found actually that in Zwift, it was really tough. It's slightly different to racing in a big peloton. There's much less recovery. And so overall, the effort was probably quite significantly higher than the average power. But it was great fun, absolutely brilliant. And just like in real life, I got completely smoked in the sprint. So still something to work on.
Yeah, and I do remember you specifically saying when the pack started going away little by little, and it was like that slow fade away from you at one point. So there definitely is that realism. You probably feel a little bit of that realism as well as in group ride today, being able to kind of jump in a draft if it's a little bit difficult at different kinds of times. Now that you're going uphill though at 3.2%, gradient, not so much of a draft, but actually it is going to level out a little bit for you for a moment here, and you will be able to sit in a little bit. So definitely able to feel that realism, I would think, in the game there as well to compare to the real life efforts.
Yeah, it really does feel like I'm going up a big hill, and it's very much the same feeling of riding in a bunch up an alpine climb, and there's no struggling for morale. You're kind of swept along, and yeah, it's quite immersive, really, isn't it?
So up at the top, we'll get back to you when you guys start getting up toward the peak of the mountain. That's going to be where you really start feeling those gradients, about that 17% gradient or so. So we'll get back to you over there. Try and keep those boys together as they're looking a little like they're chomping at the bit to be dropping people. So have fun, Sai. And then we're going to get back though to Tom here, as he is heading through the volcano, and it looks like he's tweeting out maybe at Z Community Live right now as he's on his mobile. Definitely having a chill ride out there. That's absolutely awesome. Or maybe doing a little group leading. That's maybe a feature we should talk about, Tom, as that's how you're able to lead groups out on Zwift, is through the mobile link and communicate with a bunch of the riders or through your keyboard. It looks like you just went on through the volcano though, and what do you think of the new expansion then with that volcano course?
I think it's very, very cool. It's just a really fun thing to kind of glance up at the screen, look at, and see you riding through. I actually kind of missed it there because I was too busy trying to post a selfie of me and Matt, but next time it will have my full attention.
Okay, make sure, I want to get that selfie and integrate it here. Maybe if you could do the Ad Z Community Live, we can integrate that right into the stream here and get that. I want to see what that it looks like. That'd be awesome.
I'll get that over to you.
Yeah, that's great. That's absolutely great. Very, very cool. And now it looks like, as we're looking through here, we do have, as far as the course goes, the pace then at the front then for the A group that Cy is currently a part of is going to be 3.5 to 3 to 3.5 watts per kilogram. And actually, when you jump into the game, when you're starting in the starting pens, if you guys are unaware, when Cy was actually in there as a ride leader, you can actually see the ride leader icon over his head there. So all the riders that are around him know kind of where to gather. It's this identification of, okay, this is a group ride and this is about group riding. And so we are going to have that beacon over the head. And then at the beginning, it also says, here's the watts per kilogram that we should be holding. And this ride was a 3 to 3.5. In the same way you do see over Tom's head, or actually, let's go on over to Matt. I think that'll be best, as he's just leaving the dust here. And actually, there's Stevens. Actually, he's chatting through the ride leader feature. This is actually really great, Matt. What are you doing there with that keyboard? As we can maybe highlight how the ride leader function works.
Yeah, basically, I'm able to communicate with other riders out on the road, just to chat with them, basically. And also, I think the key thing about being a ride leader, especially when it's not a race, it's a real social affair. You know, regardless of the amount of watts you're putting out, this is not riding. There's one of the things I want is me riding in a group. And I can't on a road generally with a ride leader who just say, look, guys, knock it off a bit on the climb, let's stay together. I don't mind a bit if the guys go a little bit hard on the tops of the climbs. It's all about riding as a unit, and that's what you're brought into. So, sort of role with the ride leaders just to make sure everybody keeps together. And perhaps, if these guys are good, we can just open it up to the last 2Ks and have a little bit of a race. But at the moment, it's just about riding as a team and just enjoying each other's company.
Yeah, and that's what's really great about the communication is that you can kind of change things up at times. Like you're saying there, just cruising. Now, everybody in that ride, only in that ride, not everybody in the whole game, but everyone in that ride at that moment sees what he just said as from the ride leader. So it's immediate communication. That's a little bit different than in real life. I mean, what's your experience with group rides, Matt, in real life when there's a ride leader and you're trying to communicate with everybody about what to do all over the place? And that's maybe a little significant and a little bit of a difference about our social ride out on Zwift, is that you have immediate communication with everybody in the group to say, hey, here's what we're doing right now. Kind of a cool feature, eh?
Oh, no, definitely. It's a fantastic feature. I must admit, although when I drop into Zwift a couple of times a week, I'm not a ride leader, I still can talk to people using that function, because a lot of people give me a ride on saying, I say, hey, is that Matt? Nice to ride with you. It's just really lovely to interact with people. In relation to your question about being a ride leader, out on the road, it can be a little bit hard. We generally have to ride on the front, or at least follow people, especially a big group. But here, whenever I say, everybody will see. And then it's there doing the thing, you know, my orders, I guess, but generally speaking, it's a fantastic function. And again, it's about keeping a good crowd. But also, if there's something kind of particularly difficult or long level run, it's encouraging people as well, just as you would on the road in real life. So the first match is great. You can see what you want. There's no ambiguity. Everybody can see it.
Yeah, definitely. So able to hold everything together a little bit better, really good communication throughout the entire ride. It does look like Tom's about to be coming through the, it looks like heading just over toward the underground tunnel over on Ocean Boulevard, one of the first expansions out on Zwift, it looks like. And everything looks to be holding together pretty well with these boys. And you can see the new feature there on the right-hand side as far as cycling made social. You know, the whole idea of encouraging each other on those ride-ons. So you see that yellow ride-on on the right, or I'm sorry, orange ride-on the right-hand side there next to Tom's name, and then also the ride leader beacon there. If I were to go ahead and click that, or if you were in game and you click that, it actually does give a ride on. You actually see lots of ride ons popping over the GCN riders' heads right now. And actually, Tom, I do have that tweet. Thanks a lot for throwing that out to us. And here's an example, boys and girls, for what you can do. You can get right into the broadcast right along with us. Tom Last, great ride at Z Community Lives with at Real Stevens. Nice big smile there on the face, having fun, as you can see. And then we do have a couple things we do want to talk to you guys about, specifically about the new workouts. So we're featuring group rides, but there's also workout mode in Zwift. And so we do have, it looks like, 3 different programs. Let's go ahead and start maybe with Tom, since we're with you here for a moment, on the sprint. It sounds like there's a sprint workout that GCN does have that is in game. Do you have any tips or clues in as to what that's all about?
Yeah, it's just so when we kind of went to settle up who would do which workouts, I believe I almost won a race in the sprint once. Maybe separates me from the other guys. And yeah, so I think for me, I used to, when I raced, I was also studying, so I was always about kind of crunching my training down into the minimum time, and I found that sprints or explosive training like that, even if you're not a sprinter, is actually a great and really enjoyable way just to get a lot of bang for your buck from training. So I stuck my hand up and took the sprint workout.
Awesome. Really great. Yeah. And that's probably one of the main things about using Zwift, right? Is the whole idea of, like, if you're crunched for time, you got your trainer set up right there. And this is the kind of workout that you can jump into, these GCN workouts. There actually is right now I believe it's a giveaway or some sort of a raffle going on within the game right now that you can join and do a GCN event. You can join it right up as soon as you jump into the game, and you do after the pairing screen, and do one of your workouts. And those sprint workouts, you know, fast, quick, fast twitch muscle stuff. It's kind of one of the best responders and one of the quickest ways to gain fitness. So sounds like a really great workout to check out, and increase your overall max power, I would think, too, in those.
Sure, because everyone wants to win the sprint to the town sign or to the cafe, right?
Exactly, definitely. It looks like we are going to head back over to the side before they hit that 17% gradient. I think it's coming up in just a moment here. They're just about to round out the top of the Watopia Mountain. Actually, we'll get a nice little shot from the helicopter here. There is the KOM banner. The epic KOM right now was set by Bruno Vieira, it looks like, at a 20:39 today on the climb. Looks like a few people were looking to try and grab that. Looking for Sai here. We do see him. It looks like a little ways, you know, holding things steady with the main group. It looks like about to take this left-hand turn. Sai, we do have, it looks like for you, it looks like race prep. It looks like there's a race prep workout in game. You got anything to relate to the viewers? Maybe why they might want to check that one out?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the difficult things, I think, if you live in, like, you know, temperate country like in the UK, you can find that all the training you do in the winter, where you try and transition to racing on the road or mountain bikes, whatever, in the summer, it can take a few races before you really start to find your legs. And so the idea behind these race prep sessions is actually the indoor trainer is the perfect place to do it, because, you know, on the open road, if you're trying to push some big watts, you know, it can get a little bit dangerous with traffic. With an indoor trainer, you can just suffer, get the work done. And then you also have the luxury of being able to do it whilst riding on Zwift as well. And I'd just like to point out, you've asked me this question just at the bottom, the 13% climb. What do you think is very mean?
I just noticed that, actually, when I asked the question. I was like, oh, 174, 179. So maybe we'll just have fun watching you suffer for a minute. No need to talk back at us there. Looking good, though, Sai. And thanks for that on the race prep. I was trying to get at you right before, but it looks like they are absolutely flying. 4.75 watts per kilo. Definitely a little bit of an A category, or maybe the A group out on the group ride on that Saturday morning showdown, maybe, or one of those Tuesday night world rides, maybe a little bit more happening there. So back to Matt then. Looks like he's saying, come on, guys, keep it tight, kind of corralling the cats at this point a little bit out there on the on Zwift. But for you, I was wondering, the hill efforts workout. If you got any background on the hill efforts workout.
Yeah, the hill efforts workout are basically pretty brutal. It's been really interesting. Clearly, a lot of Zwifties have dialed into that particular session, and I've been accused of being a brutalist and a bit of a sadist, really. But as you know, no pain, no gain. And if you want to get better at climbing, you've got to get in the hole up every now and again and climb till you drop. And the sessions are designed for a variety of climbs, from a particular session with short climbs, like akin to riding in Flanders, for example, or even the shorter climbs of the Ardennes and races like Race Bastogne. And then, of course, there's the longer sessions where we're riding at threshold on the climbs. You kind of learn to measure your effort. There's a real variety of training sessions within those 8. We're looking at drilling down into the detail elements and the discipline of climbing and short climbs, medium climbs, and long climbs. So it's definitely not for the faint-hearted. If you stick to the course, you'll definitely see results without a shadow of a doubt.
Gotcha. So it sounds like a hill repeat type efforts, doing short, medium, and long along those kind of lines.
Exactly. And different sessions have different recovery periods as well. Some sessions replicate a race effort, so it's very short if they're very little recovery between each one to kind of replicate that sport like kind of experience out on the road where you can't always dictate what happens. So the idea of doing another interval or another effort shortly after a previous effort is to replicate the kind of sensations, the kind of feeling, the kind of how your body basically adapts to a race environment, and that's where they're particularly hard.
Gotcha. Yeah, gotcha. And it sounds like it's a little bit progressive maybe with some of them as well. So that sounds like a really, really great program, actually. Thanks a lot, Matt, for that insight. That was really great. We'll get back to seeing how these boys are carrying on all together here. As you can see here, hanging out at the site there on those smart trainers. As you can see, we do have, it looks like a couple of other riders we do see over on Tom's feed over here. Looks like he is tweeting out again, maybe a little bit. As you can see here, Tom is back on that phone on the chill ride here, 142 beats per minute. Absolutely awesome to see the group all staying together. It looks like fairly well with that ride leader beacon over the top there. We are seeing then a couple other features. What do you use? So, what do you use Zwift for specifically? So maybe that is something that we'd want to get at throughout your riding on Zwift, and like, what do you think of when you approach Zwift as a training tool or as a social aspect? Or, there's a lot of different kinds of riders out there within Zwift. As the community grows, there's kind of like a little bit of a racing community, and everybody kind of does everything too, right? Like there's a wide spectrum, and you can kind of choose on your day. But I think some people have some favorite features or favorite ways that they use Zwift. So how do you think about that when you approach Zwift, Tom?
Well, for me, Nathan, I don't have a lot of time to train because I think we do have the best job in the world at GCN, but sometimes it's difficult to convince people that we do that this is really work. But it is really work, and I love the fact that I'm able to use limited time to actually just get a nice, scenic, interactive ride in at home instead of being out kind of in the grey British winter weather. So it's the bit of variety and the way it's really enhanced my indoor training experience as a whole that I really love.
Awesome. Great. So yeah, that quick ride, getting that ride in, getting that workout in really quick. That's the favorite feature. It sounds like there. It's from, then it looks like Sai, the heart rate is starting to drop down a little bit. Looks like you guys have cruised up over the top, on top of the mountain here. And just going past that peak, it looks like things are a little bit strung out. So on the downhill, maybe some people try and bring things back together, but back to you then with the same question. As far as like when you approach Zwift, there's a lot, and you might like a few different things actually, because I know you've done some racing. I know that you've done you've been a part of creating these workouts. You've also been a part of some group rides. You've been using Zwift for quite a while now. When you approach Zwift, what's your favorite feature, or what do you think of when you first come after it?
Well, I still very much am a racer at heart. I think when I go out on my bike, I tend to go and smash it pretty hard. It's the idea of maybe having a day like Tom said, we haven't had time to get on the bike for whatever reason. Be able to come home and at 8 o'clock in the evening, just think, right, let's do it. Like the last one I did at 7:55, I was putting my shorts on, and at 8 o'clock I was on the start grid. At 8:01 I was doing 600 watts. Like, not often you can get to a race, register, pin a number on, and go in that short period of time. So, and I love the fact that the racing really does make you push on, and dig really deep And I just, I finished my race, and even though I didn't get a particularly good result, it was just great. Go back upstairs, and that's it. Job done. It's fantastic, really.
Yeah, and we actually have seen you jump into, what was interesting to me the other day was that we did see you jump into some races outside of the GCN races. So it does look like you're jumping into a few races, which is really, really great to see. And we've been extremely excited to see you jump into there. Guys, everybody over at the Facebook, just so you know, I have gotten the integration going with the Facebook. So we've had a couple of tweets at us, but if you would like to chat at us over on the Facebook and ask a few questions there as well, I should be able to take them and bring them back over to the commentary. So we would like to open up some Q&A between us. So you can go ahead and shoot a couple out there, and we will, get something going there between you guys. We'd love to have the community interact in this social environment today with the riders while they're out on course. It does look like it is a solid still 4.5 watts per kilogram, 4.4. Si, when's the last time you were holding this kind of an effort? In my experience, I don't even notice because of the social competitive environment a little bit. Like the other day I did a 100K race on Zwift, and it was this experience where I averaged like 4 or 3, it was high 3s to 4 watts per kilogram for the entirety of the race. And I didn't even that kind of effort in a workout is like super focus. Okay, you're prepping for a couple days. You're thinking about this coming because it's just going to be this hard focus, right? Where you're in this above high tempo the whole way through. And I would think that similar kind of right now in this group ride where it's kind of an A group ride, it takes a little bit of that suffering out or that mental aspect out of it, and you're just able to kind of push through without even noticing how hard you're going.
That's absolutely right. It's quite strange how it does it because, although I used the indoor trainer when I was full-time bike racer, it was with reluctance, and now it's something that I actively chose to do on an evening after work, which is a pretty seismic shift, really. And you're right, you don't notice how hard you're going. I mean, you do, it hurts, but you can go deeper, much deeper, and there's just an extra element of satisfaction, I think. If you are a competitive kind of person, and I think racing on Zwift is definitely a good thing to try.
Definitely. Yeah. And that's my experience too, as well, as far as the, not going deeper just because of that group experience and a trainer that you probably wouldn't have. My experience in the past on the trainer has always been like, all right, I'm gonna get this done. And that extra mental level and that connection with those other riders in the game that can happen in the middle of it all. We do have a question specifically to you, Si, actually coming from Anthony Vegan Porsche. He's actually a rider that shows up to a lot of the races, and we'll go ahead and merge this in so you can see it. And he says, at Z Community Live, Si, what's your thoughts on the competition level of A athletes on Zwift compared to outdoors? What would you think as far as the competition is going? I've seen you competing since the first GCN event on the Richmond Worlds course, and they were fast then. It seems like they've only gotten faster at this point. So what's the question then is thoughts on competition level of the A athletes? I know that he does actually ride amongst the A's, so he's probably looking for a professional's idea of that.
Well, it's definitely fast and it's definitely hard. One thing that I've been trying to get my head around is the tactics, because you have the luxury, obviously, with Zwift, where you can see everyone's data. And so you can see what people average, their average watts per kilo over the course of a race. And so when someone's got a much lower power, I'm there scratching my head going, well, what did I do wrong? What can I do next time? Because it is a different sensation. I suspect if you had plotted a graph of your power output, you would probably see less spikes on a Zwift race than you would in a road race. Certainly a crit, where you kind of do 700 watts out of the corner, and then you freewheel into the next one. Whereas I don't think I ever stopped pressing on over 300 watts. So a long-winded way of saying it is super hard, but I'm sure that tactics play almost as big a part, if not more of a part, and therefore that's what I'm trying to get my head around and work out exactly how I'm going to win one of these things, because that would be a nice thing to do at some point this year.
Yeah, gotcha. So there's no resting. There's absolutely no resting at all when it comes to the trainer, that's for sure. And the consistency of the effort that gets put through all the way And so that's a great answer, actually, as far as the level goes, as well as the kind of effort that needs to be put out on course. We do see Tom now. They are heading on over through the volcano again here, and he was able to chat out to the guys. Now, are you using the mobile link, or are you using the keyboard, Tom, to interact with the game right now?
I'm using the keyboard, Nathan. The phone was purely for vanity reasons. I was just Instagramming a selfie of me and Matt.
Gotcha. And it looks like the boys are all hanging together here fairly well out on course for you, not holding too high of a pace out there on the new volcano. Tom, I think you've said this already, but as far as your yeah, I mean, it seems like the features as far as coming into the spring and the summer months, the relevance of Zwift, I mean, is it still relevant to you, or to anybody that's out there? They're like, well, this is for indoor training and that's a winter thing, but it sounds like you might have a different take on that.
Yeah, definitely. I think indoor training in general is a great way just to kind of get a bit more from your time, and Zwift only makes kind of that getting a bit more from my time even better. So it has a place year round for me.
And did you use were you using indoor training then year round then in your career as well then?
Yeah, but I'm afraid it was on a not very smart trainer in a dusty garage. significantly better.
Gotcha. Awesome. Yeah, and I think we all feel the same way. And there's a couple questions coming through. So life before GCN, a little bit about your cycling career, your team, and where it took you. So what teams did you ride for? And what was your career like? A little bit, maybe.
Okay, so I started off in cyclocross, and then around 1920 switched over to the road, where I kind of raced at a professional level in Britain for the most part. So I was lucky enough to have Matt as my team rider manager for those years, and Sai as a teammate for most of those years too. So it feels like my life as on the cycling team has continued. I count myself very fortunate for that.
That's pretty awesome, actually. So it went from like getting wins to the GCN commentating. I absolutely love to hear that. That's a really cool. Really cool. And place like what's as far as really cool places that it's taken you that you remember out in real life during your cycling career? Anything that sticks out to you in your memory?
Yeah, I think the favorite races I ever did were the ones that kind of incorporated like a gravel type thing. So again, we were lucky enough to go to the Tour of the Battenkill in upstate New York, which I just loved. And also we did a race called Trobro Leon which was it's kind of in Brittany, and that again is a very interesting race.
Awesome. Yeah, I do know the Battenkill. Actually, I think there's a kit in game for that one specifically. So really cool that you would mention that. And then one highlight maybe to grab from you, a career highlight that you would say.
For me, as a British professional rider, my career highlight was without a doubt just getting to ride the Tour of Britain a couple of times, which was there were stages. One time the stage finished in central London, and I think as a domestic pro in cycling, finishing your national tour in the capital city with kind of family and friends around, yeah, that's incredibly cool. It's something that will live long in the memory.
That's awesome. Yeah, the home course, the home turf, having family around, having those relationships around you for those big races is huge, especially the witness of that between them. So I can totally understand that. I can really relate to that. That's a really cool story there. Then I think we can head on over to Sai then with some of the similar questions then there, Sai. Maybe for some of the viewers who are maybe new or, just to get a little bit of background, perhaps, let's go ahead and just go with the life before GCN in your cycling career. Who'd you ride for and how to kind of start? Maybe how did it start? I think was it MTB, Sai? Is that right?
That's exactly right, yeah. So I was a mountain biker from my earliest cycling days. I think I did my first race when I was 8. And I kind of just had a massive love for the off-road side of the sport. I was an old-school cross-country rider, if anyone can still remember that. And then...
So like the longer events, the ones that weren't just straight uphill?
Yeah, exactly. So I raced for Great Britain for 6 years on the national team as a full-time athlete, which is incredibly lucky, really. And then, it was pretty clear that I wasn't going to be achieving Olympic success like the track guys. And so, once I'd done my time and moved on to the road, and I kind of almost at that point enjoyed it way more than the mountain years, and then trek. And then when I swapped onto the road, I rode for Rafa Condor for a season.
What years were
and
you
then,
with the Gary Fisher? Just real quick, sorry to interrupt, but was that with the JHK time and a few of those others
that's right,
in there?
2005 and 2006, in mountain bikes around Steamboat Springs in Colorado was just super cool. You know, I was still at school, and now I was living the dream. And then on the road, I got to race in California a few times. That was wicked. And then also a big fan of Melbourne, Australia. So I got to do the Herald Sun Tour, and that was brilliant. So so many good places that cycling takes you to. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Sounds like definitely awesome. And then just one career highlight maybe to grab for me as we're just kind of getting to know each other presenters. Maybe, and that's the cool thing about Cycling Made Social when you're interacting with all these people and you get to know all these people from all over the world. I mean, this direct access to you guys in this kind of a way where the community can interact with you, ask questions and be involved and know more about you guys. It's really an amazing tool to connect the community. So to find these things out by you guys is absolutely awesome. But just one career highlight, maybe, Sai, that you can think of.
Okay, I'm just trying to drop a wattage bazooka. The last 100 meters.
That's actually what we want to watch. That's what we want to watch. Here's the career highlight, boys and girls. Sai's throwing down 9.2 watts per kilogram. 181 beats per minute, 670 watts off the front, boys and girls. Can he hold on? Sparrers using him up here. We're getting a little bit of race commentary here now, boys and girls. Can he hold on? It's neck and neck to the line. And Sai looks like he's got a power up. Power up for him. The arrow power up, boys and girls. It looks like it's going to be happening all the way to the line, but now 11 watts per kilogram coming from Mackie from behind here. Will he hold off? 200 meters to go. You can see the pain on the face right there. Cummins and Sai Richardson. Looks like three boys are going to get the better of him, but he's going to take fourth on the day amongst the GCN ride, and it turned into a race at the end of the day. It's one of those Tuesday night showdowns. Absolutely awesome, Sai. I'm going to let you recover a little bit before we get that career highlight, unless that right there was the career highlight, maybe. I don't know. Great job out there, Sai. We'll go ahead and chat over to the Tom real quick here. It looks like things are kind of cooling down. It looks like you've left your event module for a moment. So it looks like your ride's all done for the day there, Tom?
For sure. I got distracted just spectating the wattage flying everywhere over there. It was impressive effort.
Absolutely great. We'll let Sai catch his. I think I heard you in the background cheering. I think Matt was cheering a little bit too. We do got Matt as well there. It looks like just cooling down. Actually, still a ride leader there. It looks like, but now cooling down from his ride. Matt, just a thank you to you as well there. And we're having a little bit of a mic issue there from Matt, so we're just gonna cut out. But thanks a lot. Thanks for the thumbs up there. Sai, how was that how was that sprint there? Was that the career highlight, or maybe you can give us another one from real life then too? But how did that sprint work out for you?
Well, just like real life, in fact. Let it out and then got rolled at the line. So perfect. There's nothing like when you imitate life like that. But then I suppose back in my racing days, I guess my biggest win was probably this race in Ireland called the RAS, or the Ross, or the RAS, or whatever you want to call it. We get told off all the time on GCN. But that's like a 7-8 day stage race. And so I won that one year, which was super cool. And it was one of those times where, you have a small team, obviously being the yellow jersey wearer, you get to see the sacrifice that people make for you, and it was quite an emotional experience actually, as well as being thoroughly good fun. So that's definitely highlight results wise, I think.
Awesome. Very cool. That's great. That is absolutely great, Sai. Thanks for sharing all that. We really appreciate it. And it was really great, I think, for everybody to kind of get to know each of the commentators a little bit more, hear about how you guys are using Zwift, hear about the workouts that you guys have been developing for everybody, hear about the group rides that you guys are being a part of, as well as maybe be able to see you guys out on course for a couple of races maybe in the future. It looks like everybody's gotten a pretty good sweat on out on the course today so far. We did have, again, these were the courses. This was the course that Sai just got done doing. He did do the mountain route. Here's our Velo viewer from them, powered by Strava. We did this entirety, absolutely killer ride there from Sai, and then it was the Watopia Flat as well, volcano that we did see from all completely flat, 8 miles or so, I believe it is, out on Zwift that Tom was able to lead a ride around for as well. And then we did just have the Watopia Flat, the regular Watopia Flat that came with the expansion of Ocean Boulevard out on Zwift. So what a ride from all the riders there. It was great to have all you guys. Real quick here, we want to just give you guys a scene for a quick little send off here in just a second. We just need to pan Nathan over just a tad there, and then we will grab you guys from a complete view of all ya. And can we just do a quick little wave goodbye to everybody, and thank you, maybe a thumbs up and a wave goodbye. And thanks a lot, you guys, for tuning in. That was really great. Right on to all you guys. Thanks a lot for joining in. We had a ton of fun, and we'll see you guys next time, hopefully. Cheers, everybody. And then, so that was Tom and Simon and Matt. It looks like they had a great time out on Zwift today with the group ride with all of you. We got to hear a whole lot about the new courses. We got to hear a whole lot about how they're using Zwift, about the GCN workouts that are in game that you can do right now. You got to see the Watopia volcano a little bit, and hear a whole lot about how these guys, their racing careers, what they've been up to since then, as well as how they're using Zwift. It's been really great joining in with them. Thanks a lot, everybody, for tuning in. And if you'd like more of what you saw today, make sure to head on over to ZwiftCommunityLive.com. And of course, there's the GCN. We are so incredibly, honored to have those guys on, and really, really excited to have them a part of the broadcast and to host these rides. So thanks so much to GCN as well. And you guys can find them, obviously, Global Cycling Network, over on their YouTube channel. So thanks, everybody, for tuning in, and we will see you guys for the next thing up on Zwift Community Live. It is going to be, if you head on over to ZwiftCommunityLive.com, you can see the full broadcast schedule, actually. And the next thing up, maybe tomorrow morning, the SCR series will not be going on because I will be out of town for the first XRS event over in Roanoke. But the Kiss America's race, Racer Focus on Thursday morning will for sure be going on. We are looking if we